Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So today, I got two more mods for the truck that I think are probably absolutely necessary for anyone that has a truck like this. So, one of my biggest complaints right now is that the truck always gets filled with my neighbor's pine needles, which isn't too big of a deal because usually they normally blow off. But it's been raining a lot, so they just keep getting, I guess, soggy, and they just end up sticking to the bed. So now I'm rolling around with like this weird blob of pine needles in the back of my truck. So I actually ended up finding this bed cover. It's used, but I actually ended up only finding it for 70 bucks. So for that price, I couldn't really pass it up. And then for me, I didn't know if I wanted a camper shell, like the full topper shell, or just a bed cover. And then I didn't know if I want a soft bed cover or hard cover. And then I kind of wanted to test it out because it was super dusty, so I do got to clean it. So I washed the truck, and this is all the water that really got in the truck. So far it didn't really look like it was much. I think it's like on the inside it's bone dry. I think the issue is that it's just not 100% sealing back here, which to me ain't that big of a deal, honestly. Either have the bed be completely soaked, or just like the very edge get a little bit of water, and that was with a pressure hose. I don't think it'll be that big of a problem, but you can see it's insanely dirty, so probably gonna go ahead and clean this. Also, for mod number 2, what I got is a set of custom fit floor liners. So these seem to be very popular with everyone. Honestly, I feel like there's one master copy of the file of all these floor liners, and then everyone just puts their own like little design on there. The only reason why I chose Lasfit is the design in the rear is because I liked it, because I feel like it'd be the comfiest for my dogs. Other than that, they all pretty much cost about the same. They're all within 50 bucks. So kind of just choose whichever one you like the most and try it out. But I think the top 3 are usually the WeatherTechs. Those are normally the most expensive ones. The Husky liners seem to also be up there, and then of course these tend to be up there in the top 3 of what everyone gets. So a little bit of unboxing video. There you go. So this is kind of the design I was talking about. So it looks like it's a lot more raised overall. Like the majority of it's raised, versus the majority of it being on the floor and having just like raised ribs. I feel like whenever I take long road trips, like my dogs will be a lot more comfy on this. It almost like a little bed, like mattress, because since this is raised, it'll act like a little bit of a softener instead of having just a couple lines like this that'll want to dig in on them. So this seems a lot smoother. So I'm happy with how they look. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean out my truck because it is a little dirty, and remove these floor liners that absolutely don't match the truck. They don't really fit all too well. So here's my old setup, and then there's the factory setup. So I'm gonna go ahead, give this truck a good vacuum, good cleanup, and install the floor liners. Alright, cool. So after unpackaging the box, this is essentially what you get. So this is what I meant, is that the majority of it is raised, so it adds like a little bit, almost like a little bit of a cushion, versus like if you're laying on this, you'd probably be super uncomfortable, but if you're on this, way more comfortable. And then of course, here are your front liners, and there's what came out of the truck. So of course, these don't fit whatsoever on the contours. I don't even know what these are from, but they're made by BF Goodrich, so probably like a Jeep or something. So these should fit right in. So install, of course, it takes no time at all, and boom, there you go. That easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss the other 2 in, and then we can get to cleaning the new tonneau cover that I got. Alrighty, so here they are installed. I do like how it even comes all the way down to the very bottom, so it still needs to kind of relax. It's a little raised in the center, probably from where it was folded, but I think the dog should enjoy this. So it feels actually almost like it made it slightly more plushier back here, because now they got like a little air cushion, you know, for when they lay down here. And then also do like how it even comes up right here up against this little underseat storage, so it's nice. I like it. And then driver's side looks good, so way better than what I had before. So that should trap all the mud and all the dirt, and then instead of, you know, going up and onto the carpeted areas, it looks like it'll kind of get trapped in all these little grooves, and then I can just wash them later whenever I go and pressure wash the truck. I do have a cover for my truck to protect it, so, you know, hair doesn't get all over these and they don't get the seats all muddy. But it's not for my truck, it's for an SUV that we got. Later on I will be getting one that's made for my truck. So now to move on to this. So I'm actually going to be using some vinyl cleaner that I had, if I can find it, but I'm just gonna try using a little bit of vinyl cleaner, see how that works. So here we go. So some all surface cleaner, some detailer, and see if that is able to kind of scrub out all that dirt, like loosen it up. I think maybe pressure washing might have helped. And see if we can get this cover looking a little bit better than what it does now. Alrighty, so there you can kind of start seeing the difference. Already super noticeable. There are a couple little spots where I can't really reach, that are kind of dirty, but here is the before and after. So you can see how this is just still covered in dirt, and over there is nice and clean. So it's already starting like dried out. You can see a little wet spot right there still, but it's all nice and dry. So it already looks 10 times better. I think I'm kind of cool with leaving it like that. I might put a little bit of a shine to it later, but just all you need is a little agitator brush, some kind of cleaner. So I'd use my interior cleaner for this one just because it is vinyl, and then 2 rags. So one to really get the nasty stuff up, and you can see how it's just, the rag's already nasty. I'm gonna have to go get another one, and then like another one to kind of dry it up afterwards to see if you miss any spots. But I'm gonna go ahead, clean the rest of it, show you guys what the finished product looks like. And there you go. So that's the final product after it's had some time to dry. Doesn't look like the dirt's coming back. I did have it to give a couple spots like a second pass, but it looks like she cleaned up really nice. So if you're wondering about the brand, it's Trail FX. I found this on Facebook Marketplace for literally 70 bucks. So I think this is probably the cheapest mod that I've done to this truck, that made such a big impact. So yeah, so, you know, don't be afraid to buy something a little used. These bed covers they all seem to be pretty tough and pretty weather resistant, so I wasn't really too afraid. I thought for the price it was cheap enough where I could probably have it recovered or something, or at least take a go and take a look at it, because I didn't know if I wanted one, to be honest. Realistically, I would like a hard bed cover, but for the price I cannot complain about this, because in the meantime, until I can save up for a nice hard bed cover, I can have this and keep pine cones out of the back of my truck. And then again, I didn't know if I wanted the actual topper, or the camper shell that some people call it, on the back of my truck, or if I wanted just a, you know, tonneau cover like this. So let me know what you guys think of the floor mats. Again, those were only, I think, about $130. You can buy them either on the Lasfit website or Amazon. Same with this cover. I think Amazon sells the Gator version of this cover. It's the exact same cover. If you look at where the brand little decals are at in the corner, it's the exact same cover. I think just there's one parent company making them, and then they just sell them to other little companies, and they just put their little logo on there and just call it a day, when it comes to these soft tops anyways. just because it's weird how they all look the exact same and they all have the exact same size logo in the exact same spot. But the material is the exact same. So choose whatever price you like the most if you're looking into getting one of these. I think it's fantastic. I already drove on the freeway with it because when I went and bought it, we literally installed it right there. It takes 2 minutes to install. It's literally 2 clips in the front and then 2 clips in the rear, and that's it. And it only weighs maybe like 10-15 pounds. So of course you're not adding a whole lot of weight to the truck and possibly getting a little bit more aerodynamics with it. I've seen both sides of the story there, where they say it hurts gas mileage, others say that it helps gas mileage. Actually, the big thing is why Ford made the top of the tailgate so wide, almost like it has a little wing, is because they said that tonneau cover actually helps. So, but not only the last like 6 inches or whatever of the tonneau cover is what actually does most of the work. So that's why they made the tailgate so wide, and they proved it with like a whole wind tunnel test and all this and that, to help with fuel mileage on these trucks. So it's a big truck. Of course you don't get a truck for the fuel mileage, but it would be nice with California gas prices. It does help. So right now with the intake and exhaust, I am up to averaging about 16 miles to the gallon, when before, best case scenario, driving like a grandma on just solo freeway, I was getting 15.8. So I was averaging closer to 15. So I'm up a full MPG on regular day-to-day driving, same exact traffic, same exact highway driving, same exact streets that I take to work. No changes whatsoever. Weather's been about the same, a little bit more rain or a little bit less rain here and there, but I think it's and up. So hopefully eventually those mods pay for themselves. I think I got them cheap enough that I don't mind. I like them. I like how the truck drives now. I like how it sounds. It just adds a little bit more to driving the truck, but without being obnoxious. We'll see how this tonneau cover, if it helps with like one more MPG, I think I'd be ecstatic getting 17 miles to the gallon on a 4-door, 6.5 foot bed with 35s essentially. That's insane. I think that's about what the Mustang got average. So it was about 17 to 19 miles to the gallon. So getting something out of a truck this big, that's essentially a brick in the wind, can't complain there. So let me know in the comments whether or not you guys like it, whether you guys think this is too good to be true of a deal, or if I'm just bullshitting. Would you do a soft cover, hard cover, or a camper shell on your truck? And then let me know what you think of those floor mats, whether they're overpriced junk or a great cheap mod, for it. Because I think both of these mods are, straight home runs. They're going to keep the truck cleaner and then make my dogs happier, and then also just kind of helping the looks department, because I kind of do like the looks. So gives it a little bit more of that OEM plus look I like. So yeah, so with that, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.